Good morning, students. Today we will be talking about air and water. It is one of the important chapters of class 10th for NIOS board. So we will begin with the composition of air. There were different scientists who came forward with different theories about the composition of air. In the year 1674, Mayo, he proved that air is not an element but it is a mixture of two substances, one of which is active and the other is non-active. In 1789, a scientist named Lavoisier, he said that the active element present in the air is oxygen and also said that it is about one-fifth of the total volume of air, and the non-active element in air is nitrogen and it is about four-fifths of the total volume of air. So if we talk about the ratio of oxygen and nitrogen in the air, it is about 1:4 by volume. When we talk about composition of air, we don't include water in it because its concentration in air varies drastically from one location to another. This is the composition of air by volume. Nitrogen is present around 78.03%. Oxygen is present around 20.09%. Then there are other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, inert gases like neon, helium, etc. Let's talk about the different components of air, starting with oxygen. So oxygen has got number of uses. Let's talk about the general uses. Oxygen is necessary for respiration in almost all living beings. It is the supporter of combustion and therefore materials they burn easily in the presence of oxygen. Liquid oxygen or LOX. It is used as oxidant in rockets to burn the fuel. Oxygen from air gets dissolved in water, which keeps the water and aquatic life fresh. Oxygen cylinders are carried by climbers during the high altitude climbing and by aviators during high altitude flying and firemen during firefighting. Rusting of iron takes place in presence of oxygen and water. Talking about the medical uses and industrial uses of oxygen. Oxygen is given to the patients who are suffering from asthma or gas poisoning and for artificial respiration in hospitals. A mixture of oxygen and nitrous oxide is used as anesthesia in surgical operations. In the steel industry, impurities present in iron are removed by burning in presence of oxygen. Oxygen is also mixed with hydrogen or some other chemical like acetylene. These mixtures are burnt to produce very high temperature and are used for cutting metals and for welding. Oxygen is also used for manufacture of sulfuric acid from sulfur and nitric acid from ammonia, that is NH3. There are certain harmful effects of oxygen. Corrosion is one such effect. Corrosion means deterioration of metals by an electrochemical process. The most common example of corrosion is the rusting of iron. Oxygen gas and water must be present for iron to get rust. Similarly, articles which are made of other metals like aluminium and copper also corrode slowly in the presence of oxygen. So in a way, oxygen is also harmful for certain processes. Let's talk about nitrogen. Nitrogen is the main constituent of proteins. A number of amino acids containing nitrogen, they join together to form proteins. And proteins, as you all know, are the building blocks of our body. Secondly, nitrogen subdues the activity of oxygen. If the concentration of oxygen in air is increased, then processes like metabolism, combustion, and corrosion are speeded up, and this shall have a harmful effect. The compounds of nitrogen are of vital importance to the plants as they help them to manufacture proteins. And then the animals and human beings, they get the proteins from these plants. So let's talk about the features of carbon dioxide, which is also an important constituent of air. During photosynthesis, as you all know, plants absorb carbon dioxide and water vapor from atmosphere and they convert it into carbohydrates in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Carbon dioxide dissolves in water to form carbonic acid, which reacts with rocks that contain calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate. These salts give the taste of natural water, and they also supply calcium ions and magnesium ions to the plants, which are necessary for their growth. Carbon dioxide is also used in food preservation. When stored in an atmosphere of carbon dioxide, the grains are prevented from being destroyed by insects. Solid carbon dioxide, also known as dry ice, is used as a refrigerant. Dissolved in water, carbon dioxide is used in the preparation of soft drinks. The effervescence or the bubbles that comes out when we open a soft drink bottle is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide does not support burning, so it is used as a fire extinguisher. Carbon dioxide has got a harmful effect. It is a greenhouse gas, so it traps the infrared radiation, which raises the temperature and might result in global warming. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.